Hey everybody, wanted to make a quick video covering the pit strategy on the Sonoma race this last weekend. Kyle Larson ended up winning the race. A lot of people have been giving Cliff Daniels a lot of credit for his strategy call. I kind of have the opposite opinion. I think he was on the less optimal pit strategy, and that Kyle Larson won in spite of that, and this is just a further testament of how good Kyle Larson's drive was through the field in order to win this race. So here I'm on NASCAR.com. If you go to the results page, you can get the actual race summary, and it gives you all the information of when everybody pits. So a full fuel run under green flag conditions was expected to be about 42 laps. And stage 1 ended at lap 25. So everybody knew that there was going to be an opportunity to pit at lap 26. So if I take 26 and I add 42, which is our expected green flag run, and I add 42 again, that gets us to 110 exactly, which was the which was the length of the race, right? So lap 26, this was the time to pit, and these early cautions really it shouldn't have aided this decision, right? Because if you just do the math, you're going to have an opportunity to pit here because of the stage end. And you do 2 full-length fuel runs after that. It gets you right to the end of the race. So really smart job here to pit by Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, AJ Allmendinger, as the guys that found their way up front towards the end of the race. Interestingly enough, lap 20, this is where the cautions did come into play for Chris Buescher, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Preece, some other guys that were able to make their way towards the front of the field. So the cautions definitely helped these guys because lap 20, they had to make up some ground to hit to this magic 110 number in order to do that with only one more stop, which they were able to do. So being able to pit early before Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, and the rest of the group that was on that strategy really was the best decision, and I'm going to cover why. So here we are at this beginning of stage 3, and Chris Buescher, Martin Truex Jr., and the rest of that group that either pit on lap 20 or on lap 26 after the stage 1 break, they have cycled to the front of the field because Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, that group had to pit before the end of stage 2, so they cycled to the back. I don't know if they thought that all those caution laps would allow them to make it all the way to stage 2, and so that they could double dip on stage points. I'm not sure what the plan was there, but it didn't really work out for them as they had to pit, and it cycled them back. And these guys at the front, they have a nice clean racetrack. They're going to have really good lap times from the start of the stage. The Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Ross Chastain group, they're deep into 20s, and so they're going to have to battle through some slow cars, and it's going to seriously impact their lap times. So let's take a look at one of Kyle Larson's laps at the beginning of stage 3 as he works his way through all this traffic, and then we can take a look at the lap times and compare with Chris Buescher, who's running out front with a clean racetrack. If you want to watch the entire race from Kyle Larson's point of view, including the scanner communications, click on this video that I have linked here.
Still middle. Clear. Confirm fan what you can. Still right side, still right. Still right side, tight to you. Still right. Still right. Still stacking a little bit. Still right side. Still right. Still right side 1. Still right side 1. Still right side. Still all right 3. Still right 3. You in the 20. Still you in the 20. Just you in the 20 now. 1 trying to dive to you. Dive up bumper. All clear. All clear. All fans when you can. I got it. Still by half now.
Still in line by 1. Looking left. You at the 20. One's in line with you. Clear. Clear by 1 now.
By 2, back to the 20. Nice and straight here.
So as you can see there, Kyle Larson at the start of stage 3 had a lot of slower cars that he had to contend with, got stacked up on those corners, couldn't take the optimal racing line, and just had to get slowed up as a bunch of cars in front of him were checking up for the corner. So that was lap 61, which was the second lap in stage 3. He ran a 78.5. Chris Buescher, same lap with the lead in the clean racetrack, ran a 74.9, so about a 3.5 second advantage. So that effect, so Chris Buescher had quite an advantage of lap times for about the first 3 or 4 laps of that stage until the field really started to thin out, which allowed Kyle Larson to run faster laps. So Chris Buescher was able to have a clean racetrack at the start of the stage, and also after he pit, since most of the field was on the same strategy he was, and he was ahead of all of them, he had a clean racetrack after the pit cycle as well. So Chris Buescher essentially was not in traffic the entirety of stage 3, whereas Kyle Larson at the beginning of the stage had to pass all those slower cars, and then even after he pit, he had to work his way back through those cars that had passed him and were on slower tires. So that slowed him down quite a bit. So pretty much a large portion of stage 3, Kyle Larson had a lot of traffic to contend with. So the fact that he was able to make up such a big gap on Chris Buescher and Martin Truex Jr. despite all that is just a testament to how much better he was and his car was than his competitors. Well, I hope that was somewhat insightful, although I think it was really just me rambling for 10 minutes, but hope you all liked it, and hope that shed some insight as to how Chris Buescher and Martin Truex Jr. were able to leapfrog the field and get the lead, and why Kyle Larson had to make up so much ground after his final pit stop, and just how impressive his drive through the field really was. So yeah, if you liked that, please give me a like, subscribe, all that nonsense, and I'll see you later for some more NASCAR content.